Cooper Flagg introduced himself to the Dallas world today in his introductory press conference. On today's show, we'll have everything that Cooper Flagg, Nico Harrison, and Jason Kidd said today about the newest Dallas Maverick. Let's all give Cooper Flagg a warm Dallas, Texas welcome. Spam 32 down there in the comment section to show Cooper Flagg some love and welcome him to the Big D. This did come out over the last couple of days as the Mavericks will be opening their Summer League campaign against the Los Angeles Lakers on July 10th. Looks like Bronny James is going to play for the Lakers, so we'll have Bronny James versus Cooper Flagg. And then on July 12th, the Mavericks will play against the San Antonio Spurs and the number 2 overall pick in Dylan Harper. I assume these are likely going to be the only 2 games that Cooper Flagg plays here in the Summer League. They don't want to overwork him, but they do want to give him a taste of what NBA ball is going to look like. They want to give him the chance to shine and be the best player on a team of guys who are trying to make certain NBA rosters and trying to make it in pro hoops. So these will likely be the only 2 games Cooper Flagg plays. We'll probably be going live for at least one, if not both of them. So hit that subscribe button and don't miss that. All right, let's hop right into the presser takeaways. One of the biggest things was Cooper Flagg said it was a blessing to be in a winning situation. And I do think that this could be a winning situation pretty much right away for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, obviously, a lot rides on how healthy Kyrie Irving is when he returns from his torn ACL. But when you just look at this roster right now, with Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Dereck Lively, you have PJ Washington as well, alongside Brandon Williams and Max Christie, Daniel Gafford in the fold. And the Mavericks are going to add to this roster via the mid-level exception and maybe a couple of trades as well. The Mavs are in a good spot to win right away. Now I'll say this. Jason Kidd does like to experiment when in the first 25, 30 games of the season when the Mavs could be racking up wins. He definitely likes to try to find different lineups, find different combinations that like to work, and that can result in some growing pains for this team. And Kidd does have some ideas on how he wants Cooper Flagg to play, and we'll talk about those here later in the show. But another thing, I thought this was a great question that was asked. I can't remember who asked it, so apologies. But he's very eager to learn from the Hall of Famers here on the Dallas Mavericks. And when you really look at it, the Mavericks have 3 surefire Hall of Famers on their team right now, which is pretty crazy to think about considering everything that's gone on. It's Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson. Thompson was named to the NBA All-75 team, so they called him one of the greatest 75 players of all time. He's a 4-time NBA champion. Anthony Davis, obviously, a 2020 NBA champ. Kyrie won it in 2016 as well. And all of these guys have been some of the best players in the league for well over a decade. So there certainly is a Hall of Fame pedigree to this team, alongside Jason Kidd, who is a Hall of Fame player as well, and a very good coach that knows what it takes to become a Hall of Fame player. With Jason Kidd's IQ basketball-wise as a player and his ability to develop guys as a coach, I think this is a really good match made in heaven for Cooper Flagg, and I think this is a great situation for him to be stepping right into. It's not like he's going to Charlotte or Washington where they're just going to lose games and lose games and lose games. He's stepping into a situation that could really work for him. So we've talked about 3 Hall of Famers here on this show. Do you think the Mavericks are going to sign a 4th? Chris Paul, definitely a possibility for the Mavericks this offseason with that $5.7 million mid-level exception. Should the Mavs sign Chris Paul? Type S for sign or type P for pass. Let me know down there in the comment section. I really think this would be a great addition to the Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, and Cooper Flagg lineup. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comments. Should the Mavericks sign Chris Paul? Embracing positionless basketball is something that Nico Harrison, Jason Kidd, and even Cooper Flagg have kind of talked about. He was asked a variety of questions of, what position do you want to play? What position are you envisioning yourself playing in the NBA? And his answer really was, I don't really have a position, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to win ball games. And the switchability for Cooper Flagg, especially on the defensive end, is going to be off the charts. If the Mavericks are playing a team with a dynamic point guard and they want Cooper Flagg to go be the point of attack defender on that guy, they'll let him do that. If it's a wing that the Mavericks really are trying to game plan to go stop, they can send Cooper Flagg over there. I'm not sure if he's ready to guard bigs in the NBA quite yet with his frame, but if he puts on a few more pounds, maybe that could be in the cards as well. The Mavericks are truly trying to fully embrace a defensive, athletic, versatile, switchable team, and that's what they're going to have with P.J. Washington. I think I think P.J. Washington, will be in the starting lineup for the Mavericks on opening night. That's the way that they wanted to play, despite me having him on the bench in the graphic we showed you earlier. I think Washington will be a day one starter, and with Flagg and Washington, you really open up a bunch of possibilities on the defensive end. The only kind of drawback to a lineup like this is, where's your shot creation coming from? Who's going to be the guy that can create his own shot? Jason Kidd seems to think Flagg is going to be able to do that, but they need to sign someone like Chris Paul, who averaged 7 assists in last year's NBA season over 82 games, for someone that can get guys into open spots and create for them, because otherwise the Mavericks really don't have that guy. And speaking of point guard, could Flagg be playing some PG? According to Jason Kidd, in the first 2 games of the Summer League, he wants to stick him out there at point guard and just see what he can do. He said, go out there, go make mistakes, go figure out what works and what doesn't. He'll come back from the Summer League and refine his game more from that. I do think it's a real possibility that we could see Cooper Flagg playing some point guard this season for the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban was at the introductory press conference, and he was interviewed and was asked about it, and he said he texted Jason Kidd and said, let him play point guard. And you could see a sort of a lineup with Flagg at the 1, Klay Thompson at the 2, Washington at the 3, alongside Davis and either Gafford or Lively. That would be some hell of a lineup to try to defend if you are another NBA team. Like I said, the switchability on the defensive end would be special as well. And if Flagg really is all that in a bag of chips on the offensive end, with his ability to handle the ball and see the floor, that could open up all new possibilities for the Dallas Mavericks going forward. So that's why I think the Summer League will be very important to watch with Flagg and how he handles the pressure of being the focal point on the offensive end. It'll start with the Los Angeles Lakers, who, by the way, had a fantastic undrafted free agent class, in addition to taking a Duke Thiero, the wing out of Arkansas, with the 36 overall pick. So that game will be very fun to watch. And then him taking on Dylan Harper and the San Antonio Spurs. Harper was the best point guard in this draft, true point guard. So we'll see how Flagg stacks up against that competition in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited to see it. And if you are excited for Cooper Flagg, go get yourself a Cooper Flagg jersey right now. Chatsports.com/Flagg. That link will be in the comments and the description of today's show. When you use that link, Fanatics will send us a part of the proceeds as well. So you're helping out the channel while getting yourself the newest Mavericks jersey. I need to get one myself. I think I'm going to get the navy blue one that says Mavs across the front. But we have the white, we have the blue, we have the royal blue, and the navy blue as well. So go get hooked up today. Chatsports.com/Flagg. The final takeaway I wanted to give is Nico Harrison thinks that Cooper Flagg helps not only now, but in the future. And for maybe the first time since February 1st, I agree with Nico Harrison. Flagg is a win-now piece for this team that is an aging team with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving alongside the younger guys in Daniel Gafford and Dereck Lively. You add Flagg into the mix, he absolutely is a win-now piece for a team that is trying to compete for championships over the next 2 to 3 seasons. But also, Flagg doesn't turn 19 until the middle of December. So this is a guy who is also a piece for the future, a centerpiece to build around going forward. And the only way that this really gets screwed up is if Nico Harrison trades Cooper Flagg. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Nico will have the opportunity to trade Cooper Flagg. And look, man, this guy, as we've said repeatedly over the last 6 weeks, not only is he the best offensive player in the draft, he's also the best defensive player in the draft. He shot it well from 3 last year. He averaged a steal and a half and a block and a half a night. He was the best player in college basketball last season. He won the Freshman Player of the Year. Coach K called him the best Duke freshman of all time. That includes guys like Zion Williamson, like Jason Tatum, like Christian Laettner. There's a long list of impressive Duke freshmen that have been out there, and he called Cooper Flagg the best one ever. The Mavs truly are getting a special player here in Cooper Flagg, and I can't wait to see the Flagg era come to fruition here in Dallas. Before we get on out of here, let me know what you think. Will the Mavs win a title with Cooper Flagg at the helm? Type Y for yes or type N for no. If you think it's no, you're just a hater. That will do it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. If the Mavs make a move, you know where to come. It's youtube.com/MavsTV.